After directing an absolute hit a few years ago with The Worst Person in the World, Joachim Trier is back with his latest feature, a film that premiered at the Cannes Film Festival to amazing reviews, winning the Grand Prix award. I was lucky enough to see a screening of this at the Scandinavian Film Festival here in Melbourne, and I have some thoughts about this movie that I can't wait to share with you guys, so let's get into it. Look, I have to be quite honest with you guys. The Worst Person in the World for me was a film that didn't quite work for me for whatever reason, and I really wanted it to. And I thought, going into sentimental value, that surely this has to be the film that Joachim Trier wins me over with. He can't direct another critically acclaimed, perceived masterpiece by so many people, doing so well at the Cannes Film Festival, for it not to work again for me. And luckily, thankfully, sentimental value did. This film is not only a step up from The Worst Person in the World for me, I think this is one of the best written films of the decade. I truly think that. I think the film is utterly outstanding and also has some of the strongest performances you could see in a movie theater. There was a good stretch of this movie where I thought I wasn't just seeing the best movie of the year, I was seeing one of my favorite films of all time, Blossom. This film manages to just hit me in so many ways, and it's communicated expertly through its writing and A-tier performances. This is really just a riveting drama that gets you to connect with its characters. You have the father, played by Stellan Skarsgård, who is this filmmaker who has become quite estranged from his two daughters and trying to connect with them, but he can't quite do it. And the way the film balances such a nuanced topic, I thought, was incredibly well done and shows how sharp this writing can be. Every scene that he has with Renate Reinsve, who plays one of his daughters, was just fantastic. They're not even talking to each other, but you can feel years of resentment build up between these two, especially from Reinsve to her father. She doesn't need to communicate a word to him, but I know everything that she's thinking. And that is just such an achievement from a performance, to be able to communicate so much with so little. I think Reinsve is someone who is so talented as a performer, but I think this is her best work yet. She has been billed as a lead to this film, and she's on the poster and everything like that. I wouldn't quite say that. I would say the film is actually more focused around Stellan Skarsgård and the way that he is connecting with his two daughters, and as the film eventually gives you further context to why this relationship became estranged and why Stellan Skarsgård is the way he is. He is this master filmmaker who manages to connect with so many audience members, but he can't connect to the two people that mean the most to him. And there is a lot of beauty in this screenplay and the way that it progresses. I would be remiss to say that the other daughter, played by Inga, isn't just as fantastic. She has a different kind of performance, but her character is equally as moving. There are moments in this film where I don't think it's necessarily trying to develop a tearjerker scene out of you, but there's just these little moments here where the writing is just so good, and the way that you connect with these characters is so profound that a small moment like Stellan Skarsgård's character playing around with his grandson and filming a goofy little short movie can really draw up a lot of emotions out of me. Just the simplicity of certain scenes says so much, and I really think that Joachim Trier did a masterful job directing this film and harnessing these phenomenal performances. I think every single performer in this ensemble gives career best work. The way that it enraptured me into each conversation and each moment just had me on the edge of my seat each and every time, without any spectacle, just a straight drama. And I love that about it. The characters are so nuanced and complex, and not a single one of these characters is played off like a terrible person or anything like that. These are three-dimensional characters that are wonderful in some things and terrible in others. There's characters that can easily connect with others in an instant, but then just throw that away and become disenfranchised and uninterested the next, and completely neglectful in moments. And the way that these issues start bottling up throughout the movie just has you engaged the entire time. I love the way that this film outsmarted me in moments, and the movie just consistently did that. Tree utilizes these just fantastic techniques where he gives you a portion of the picture metaphorically, and the next scene he just provides further context. And what I mean by that is you'll see some form of imagery or a scene play out and you're like, what is going on here? What does this represent? What is this scene? Because it feels a little bit out of place. And then the next moment, the very next moment, he manages to just recontextualize everything and make you rethink certain things all the time. It's so wonderful in the way that the film establishes certain moments and scenes and plays it out later in the film is just mind-blowing. It really is. I know I'm glazing this movie a lot, but I think this movie is a masterpiece in screenwriting and performance. I haven't even talked about Elle Fanning yet, who I think is just as great as everyone else here. She is the actress in Stellan Skarsgård's new film that he's directing, and the way that she slowly begins to understand what this movie is about and what it represents is such a wonderful journey that this character goes on, but also the audience goes on. And that harmonization with this character, phenomenal. I was able to connect with her character just as much as she's playing this big, larger-than-life movie star who has something to prove. And she's hoping to do that through this film. And the way that she connects with this director plays so well, juxtaposing the distance he has with his two daughters. This film doesn't forget a word of dialogue, doesn't forget a scene. Nothing is wasted here. If there's something built up, it will come back later. Or something just established that could be the smallest detail becomes so massive later. I'm just floored by this movie. I don't even feel like I'm giving the best review here, but Jesus, this film just really astounded me, and I love it so much. I love the way that I connected with these characters, the way it had me feeling emotional in a number of moments through the big tearjerker scenes and just little quiet moments that were so beautiful. Overall, I think Sentimental Value is just a straight up masterpiece and one of the best screenplays put to a film that I've seen in quite some time. This film is just outstanding. I can't believe how passionate I am about this movie that I was expecting to like but not love on this level. And I think a lot of you out there will just be so engaged from start to finish because that's just how good this writing is. I just find it hard to believe that someone couldn't really just connect with these characters and get into it the way that I did. I believe the hype of this movie. I believe all of the awards attention that this will get. I think this deserves Oscar nominations in obviously international feature, screenplay, possibly direction, picture, actress, supporting actor, the whole lot. I just loved so much about it. Even technically, moments like the editing are just outstanding. I mean, you could get annoyed that there is a lot of hard cuts in this movie, and you could start to feel like the movie is building towards an ending, and then another scene would play out, and it does it a few times. But honestly, it would just pull me back in every single time. This film justified every minute of its runtime, and Joachim Trier just knew exactly what he was doing throughout this film and building these complex characters. I've not seen a film this nuanced in quite some time, and yeah, just go check out this movie when you get the chance because it is just outstanding, and I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being my favorite movie of 2025. As a score, I just have to give Sentimental Value the easiest 5 out of 5 of this year.
Why didn't you want to do the role? He wanted you to do it.
And those are my thoughts towards Sentimental Value. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.